Hey, 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 you beautiful twin flames, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. I'm so delighted you could join me today. And I want to talk about a few twin flamey things. Twin flamey things. And I also want to tell you what a fantastic job you're all doing on the journey so far. It's been a really difficult couple of years with what's going on in the world situation. And, when you go onto social media or taking a look at the news and things like that, especially for Australians right now, it's been a very difficult time. So, the first thing I want to say to you is thank you for being who you are today. And I also want to say that you are a sovereign being. You are a sovereign being, and your body is a temple. Okay, so I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about anything related to what the news is portraying to be true or untrue. I don't want to take sides in any way, shape, or form, but I do want to say to Twin Flames today that at this time, the most important time in our evolution as twin flames right now, here on the earth plane, we need to realize that our bodies are very sovereign and are a temple created by your creator. So I know many of you aren't particularly religious. Some of you are spiritual. Some of you believe in source energy. Some of you believe in God. Some of you believe in Allah. Some of you believe in Buddha. Some of you believe in a different religion or template. And that's not important right now. What is important is that you realize your mind, your body, and your soul are special, are sacred, are important in this world. Okay? So I want you to question everything. So if you're at work or even at home with family and friends or wherever you are, I want you to question everything before you put anything into your mind, your body, or your soul. Okay, so that's what I want to say to you today as the first and foremost, most important and urgent message for Twin Flames today. I'm going to call this an urgent message for Twin Flames. Do not let anybody tell you what you should be doing with your mind, your body, or your soul. Those things belong to you and to your creator, whoever that is for you. So I know many of you are wondering what's going on with the divine masculine right now, because for many of you, your divine masculines seem very keen, and on the other hand, they seem as though they're very distant at the same time. And this is because of the duality that Earth is experiencing right now. And so I'm going to do a Twin Flames check-in, and I'm just doing an audio today because, so if anyone writes in the comments, I can't see you, it's because I've done that on purpose, because I'm kind of, sometimes I just feel guided to do an audio. But anyway, never mind that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to give you a message from Spirit before we delve into the Twin Flames, into divine masculine and feminine energies. I want to give you a message from Spirit. So you can probably hear me shuffling. Wow, that's a big message that's coming out for Twin Flames. We've got a whole heap of cards that have already come out. The first message is, I don't know if you can remember that John Lennon song, but it literally says it on the card. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. What's going on in the world right now could be likened to World War II, could be likened to the Holocaust, depending on your views and beliefs, could be likened to apartheid in South Africa, if we go back there. So Spirit is saying to Twin Flames today, give peace a chance, right? Let's come together in a new world, in a new age of Aquarius. That's what we're in right now, is the age of Aquarius. Remember that song from a musical in the 60s? This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Something about when the moon is in the second house and Jupiter aligns with Mars. Okay, some of you who are into astrology might see that astrologically we're in one of the most biggest precipices, say that 3 times fast, the world has ever been in. So Spirit also want to say to all Twin Flames right now, the gift of love and light. The gift of love and light is important, because no one lights a lamp and then covers it with a bowl or hides it under a bed. In fact, a lamp is placed upon a stand so that its light can be seen by all who enter the house. The big message now for Twin Flames is to walk away from the illusions of the matrix that you are being told and sold and given, and go to your Creator, go to your God, go to whoever it is you believe in, and ask Him if it's God, or them if it's God's, or universe if it's the universe, whoever it is you believe in. Ask to be shown the right path and point out the road for you to be followed. The next card says, with God, all things are possible. So we can change that to make it right for everyone. With Source, all things are possible. Okay. I'm not preaching any particular religion on my channel. I believe it's up to you as a sovereign being to choose what you believe in and what you think you'd like to celebrate in your own time. But with faith, all things are possible. So whatever it is you believe in, whatever it is you want to have faith in, it's amazing how much you can change your life by simply having faith. There was a beautiful song, actually, my Nana used to sing to me because she was Christian, which doesn't matter, but I used to love this song because it had so much joy in it. And she would say, this is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. For this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. So you could change that word with anything. If you believed in Allah, this is the day that Allah has made, that Allah has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Okay? So whatever you believe in, you might say, this is the day that the angels have made, or this is the day that Source has made. Not tomato sauce or barbecue sauce, but in America, I think people call it ketchup, but in Australia, we call it sauce. So we don't mean source, I mean source energy, as in the light of source, the creator energy. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the divine masculine and feminine energies. Like I say, I'm a psychic medium. However, I like to use the cards. Well, I don't know. They're kind of like signposts in a way for me. But sometimes they just enable it to be a little bit easier for me to tap into what's going on with collective. Because each and every one of you are going through different things with your twin flame, but we have common themes going on. So as I'm shuffling here, I want you to remember that if you need me for counseling on any topic, it doesn't have to be twin flame related, feel free to message me via email. I'm also available for readings and channelings, psychic medium channelings. Usually 5 days a week I'm working at the moment counseling and channeling for people. That can be a gift to someone. They don't have to be a twin flame. It might just be soulmate related, or it could be just general about your work or life in general and how you're going. Check out the description box for all of my packages. We have the twin flame system as well as negative energy removal if you feel like you've been affected by negative energy. And I've got everything down there. So have a look down there and see if you need any of those things. The first thing I want to say about the divine masculine is that he's seeing the world as a very scary place right now. Even if he seems to be coping okay, he's kind of seeing it as a little bit of a scary place. I kind of get this wolf energy. I feel like he wants to growl, you know? He's trying to protect his family and his friends as much as he can, but he's also seeing the duality that's going on in the world. So whatever stance he's taking on the whole world situation, maybe he's for against the jab, or for against the politics, or for against the way people are treating one another, or whatever. But I feel like he's in a protective energy right now. He wants to protect the people around him. At the same time, he's also feeling quite exhausted by having to try and maintain his job or his career or his life in general. For many of them, if they're married or in a partnership with someone, they're finding it quite tedious, in fact. And if they're not in a partnership with someone, they're finding that, you know, their work is kind of overbearing at the moment or exhausting. So we have this transformation energy. He really wants to transform. He really wants to stay in fifth dimensional consciousness and above, but he kind of gets a little bit sucked into the matrix. I feel as though we have a time, the next month is going to be a time where he reevaluates what's going on in his life and where he makes some decisions about where he wants to go, especially on his twin flame journey. So the passion is coming with him, but he kind of needs a month to get himself organized first. You know, he may have some projects going on. He may have some work-related stuff going on. He may have some family stuff going on right now that he just needs to go and do. It's just like he needs to go and do it. So for the feminine, I feel like her heart space is open. I feel like she's being very loyal, and I feel like at times she can become lonely as well. But this loneliness is definitely connected to the past where she's felt as though she may not be able to walk through life with her twin flame, and that scares her, because ultimately, if the divine masculine doesn't choose the divine feminine, she feels alone. So this is why we have the message from Spirit today. This is the day that the Creator made. Whoever that is for you, we will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that whoever you believe in has made, right? So it's time for the feminine to really have gratitude, right? I've been given this wonderful life, even if it's been a little bit cray-cray over these last 2 years. Remember, the whole world is waking up, slowly but surely. A whole new world, a whole new world. You know, it's the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So we're moving into this new age. Everything is going to be changed. You won't believe what's coming. In fact, what's coming is amazing. What's coming is going to be very beautiful. Many of you don't know that yet. Many divine feminines don't know that yet. But that's what I'm getting from Spirit today. I want you to imagine that you are on a desert island, just for a moment, for both twin flames. Whoever's listening today, imagine you're on a desert island and you can only have 3 things on that desert island, okay? So what are you going to have? So we've already got a water and a food source on this desert island, okay? So that's important that you understand. We've already got water and food. We've already found that. We've been on there, I don't know, let's say we've been on the desert island for a week. Now, what would you bring with you in terms of things outside of yourself? What would you bring with you? Okay, so that's a question only you can answer. Would you bring your twin flame? Would you bring your best friend? This is in terms of people. Would you bring your favorite book? Would you bring a bucket and spade? Right? Would you bring your, I don't know, if you're religious, maybe you might bring a religious text with you. What would you bring with you and why? And then I want to ask you, why do you need that thing? And is it connected to your spirituality, or is it connected to your 3D ego self? Okay. So that's what I want you to answer for yourself today. Okay, so that's a little bit of homework. So the divine masculine really wants to speak here. I'm getting this mixed energy from the feminine. In sometimes she's lonely, and sometimes she's in her joy. She's trying to be joyful and grateful despite what's going on in the world. She's trying to be joyful and grateful despite what her twin flame is doing. But the divine masculine really wants to speak today. The divine masculine wants to say, I'm not really sure how I can provide for you. He's worried about provision here. He's worried about if he does choose you forever after, in the future, whether you're in separation or in union, but he's worrying about the future. He doesn't think that love is enough. So how can I feed you with my love? I can't feed you with love. How can I buy you that food that you need if I haven't got enough resources? So there's this part of him that's stepping down into the practicality of living in the 3D reality. So he's not necessarily in third dimensional consciousness, but he's being practical and saying, well, you know, we are going to need food. We are going to need a home. And he's afraid that he won't have enough for the feminine. Very interesting connection here to the strength that he feels inside of himself is connected to money and resources. So quite often I talk about understanding men and women, and I've actually started a series on YouTube where you can click on the playlist and check out those videos. They're quite fascinating actually. But in general, if your divine masculine is a man, or even if you're a man and you're a divine feminine, that's okay too. But in general, men feel the need to protect and provide for their feminine. So he's having a toss-up here in his mind about love. He understands that love also needs to be a provider. In his mind, he needs to provide and protect as well as show love, which is a very interesting connection because he's very much trying to be a warrior at the same time as he's trying to be a lover. So that's what I find interesting. It's like on one hand, I need to go out and hunt and find the food and create and make this life for us. And on the other hand, he kind of just wants to spend time being in love with his feminine. So it's this really beautiful energy of protection and provision, but then he thinks he's deceiving himself because if we were talking in tarot terms, he thinks that he only has the 3 of Pentacles and not the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so in terms of money, how do I get from this place where I am to where I want to be, let alone the world situation, let alone the things that are holding me back because of what's going on in the world. So that's a really interesting take. It's not going to apply for all of you. Some of your divine masculines, are doing well with money, but this isn't all about money. This is also about resources. So it's kind of like, even if your divine masculine does have money, he's starting to think about, well, where would we live? Would we live in the country or the city? Or would we want to go there or here? Or would we work together? It's all about how would this come into play? So many of the divine feminines that I work with and that I teach understand that manifestation in the twin flame journey is imperative. Manifestation and energy work is the most wonderful and successful and quickest way to getting or seeing results within the union, as well as ascension. So with ascension, what Spirit just want to say, an FYI here, with ascension, it's an everyday practice. So, you don't just level up like as if you're in a video game and then go, oh, well, I've ascended. You've got to maintain the ascension and you've got to continue to grow. So every day is a step further. Every day is a point of growth. And many of you who are feeling dispassionate right now or unpassionate, I'm not sure if it's dispassionate, unpassionate, or another way, but non-passionate could be the other alternative. I can't look it up because I'm doing the video, but tell me in the comments, which is it? Unpassionate, dispassionate, or non-passionate? I'm not sure. But many of you are not feeling passionate because you are not getting the outcomes that you want to see with your twin flame. And this is also affecting your root chakra, and the root chakra is highly connected to your monetary needs. So, not that you need to have $10 million in your bank account, that's not what I'm saying. But if you want to be abundant in all forms, you have to maintain your ascension. So the divine feminine is trying to be in her heart space, but sometimes when the outcomes aren't matching up what she wants, instead of having, the faith that she should have and the connection to her creator, whoever that is, she goes into this depressive mode. Okay, so for some of you it's outcome based. If my divine masculine doesn't ... then I'm going to be miserable. It's kind of like if you went to McDonald's. I hope you're not eating McDonald's, but all right, let's go somewhere healthy. Let's go to I don't know, the salad house. Right, let's say you really, really love this salad and you want to go and get a salad, and they don't have it today. They're not making those salads on a Monday. And they have some beautiful carob chocolate dessert as well, and you're like, oh no, I wanted that meal so bad, I'm so upset. This is kind of what's happening with the feminine when she's not getting the outcomes she wants. So what I teach in my manifestation courses in my twin flame system is how to manifest the divine masculine that you want to see. And how do you do that? Well, it's kind of a little bit like magic, really. Many of you are fed up with law of attraction, fed up with all of those kind of things. Perhaps you've listened to The Secret, or perhaps you've listened to other people, talking about the law of attraction or manifestation, and you've gone, yeah, well, I wanted a Lamborghini, but it's not in my driveway, even though I put it on a vision board, and even though I tried to manifest it, for the last 5 years, it still isn't here in my driveway. So, I think it's a load of bullshit. But the thing is that if you don't know the true secret to manifestation, then you'll never really be able to manifest anything. And that includes your twin flame. I want to talk a little bit about energy now, and how your twin flame is you already. So your twin flame already is you, and you are them. And at the moment, the world is in a duality consciousness. Get the jab, don't get the jab. Go for that politician, don't go for that politician. Those types of lives matter, these types of lives don't matter. Happy, sad, up, down, left, right, etc., etc. And it goes on and on and on and on and on with the duality. So many of you are in separation consciousness with your twin flame. You are seeing them. I'll just explain this for a moment, but you are seeing them as a physical third dimensional person that's over there and away from you. And that in itself is what's making your manifestation not come to fruition, as well as the outcome-based practices that you're doing. Perhaps you're reaching out via text, perhaps you're reaching out via email, perhaps you're reaching out in a million different ways in the 3D reality. But if you want to attract your twin and you're in separation, you actually need to do it energetically. And even, this is the crux of it all, is even when you do get them to come to you energetically, and they come into the 3D space and talk to you in real life, you still need to maintain the energy. So manifestation is occurring all of the time. the manifestation of your twin flame, or even a soulmate, or even, that work or that job or that thing that you want, is a consistent, constant, ongoing process that happens from day to day. And if you are depressed, or if you are fed up, or if you are pissed off, or if your energy sucks, your manifestations will come to you in the form of an annoying boss, a a crappy little Mitsubishi. You know what I mean? So if you want to manifest things for yourself, whether they be, monetary things or people coming into your life and creating abundance, you need to know the real secrets of how to do this. And like I say, the law of attraction, what you've thought you know about the law of attraction and manifestation isn't really true. Or you haven't been told the full story. You haven't been told the full story, okay? So before I go, I don't want to drag it on and on and on, but I just want to see, what Divine Masculine's not saying. What isn't he telling you today that you need to know, which is going to help you on your twin flame journey? I think that's the most practical thing that we can go with right now. What isn't he saying that you need to know? Really important. Wow. Wow. Okay, for some of them, they have a partner or a mother that has money. And if that's not the case, then the people around them seem to have money. So we're coming back to this money. He feels really hard done by certain women in his life. He feels that they have been argumentative and pissed off and kind of rude, actually, for no apparent reason. And so even if he's surrounded by women, maybe mother, maybe a karmic, maybe colleagues from work, etc., he really has gotten the bitter end of the stick with regards to what the feminine should look like. So the message here is that he's not feeling love from the other women in his life. He's not feeling unconditionally loved by the other women in his life. There's always conditions. So, his mother might have a condition. Like, you need to do this, why didn't you do that? And, that kind of nagginess that comes from either that old mother template or the, the third dimensional consciousness templates where, the feminine is a nagger. The distorted feminine is nagging. You can't do this because you haven't done this first, or why are you so late coming home? So there's no freedom in the women around him. They don't give him the freedom. They have all of these expectations of him. So source energy and spirit are trying to say now to the divine feminine, allow your masculine to be free. Allow him to do what he wants to do. And that doesn't mean you don't have boundaries, but come out of the old template of third dimensional consciousness thinking where he has to be some kind of way. Like in a marriage, did you put the garbage out? Why were you late home? Why didn't you cook dinner for me by 6 p.m. on the dot? Those kinds of things. So we want to move away from that template and be in a template of, I love you, divine masculine. And even though some of your behaviors may not live up to what I would consider to be right or wrong, right? you still love your divine masculine. Okay, you unconditionally love him. So if he has a drug problem or an alcohol problem or an addiction issue of any kind, or I don't know, maybe he's a porn star and he's having sex with multiple women, that's a bit of a joke. But you know what I mean? Maybe in the olden days when he was younger, he was a player. Back in the olden days, right? So we understand we want to take an eagle perspective. We want to fly high up in the sky and take a look at the masculine and see that they do the things they do because of social programming, because still many of them are inside the matrix, because that's what their culture told them to do, because that's what their mum taught them to do, because that's what the guys at work said that they should do. I've said this before, but in Australia we have a massive drinking problem. Many masculines, whether they're divine or distorted, but many of them have had drinking problems, drug problems, addiction issues, depression, anxiety, PTSD. You know, the most vivid one that's outstanding in this country is alcoholism, because in Australia the way that you go and have fun with your mates, if you're a guy, is you go out to the pub. Let's go to the pub and have a beer. Let's go to the pub and have a scotch. Let's go to the pub and have a wine. And so from a very young age, men learn to cope by using something outside of themselves. So your masculine may have a problem with alcohol, may have a problem with drugs, may have a problem with diet. Food is also a way that people use to cope. May have a problem with overworking. May have a problem with not connecting in with themselves. Okay? So society has programmed the masculine just as it has done the feminine too. And we're trying to come out of the matrix. We're trying to come out of that societal, cultural, patriarchal, which is fatherly, or matriarchal, motherly energies, which have been the reason for the distortions. Your divine masculine doesn't want to be distorted. He loves you unconditionally, actually. His soul unconditionally loves you, just as yours loves him. So if you're fighting with your masculine, or arguing, or having a misunderstanding with your masculine, it could be because you are vibrating in a higher consciousness, or vice versa. Maybe he doesn't want you to be doing certain behaviors. But at the end of the day, whichever consciousness you're vibrating at, both of you want the best for one another. And I always say, like, a rule of thumb is, if you wouldn't let your child do it, then don't do it. Would you let your child, have 24 cans of beer? No. Well, then why would you do it? Would you let your child shoot up in their arm drugs? No. Well, then why would you do it? Would you let your child speed down the road crazily in their car? No. Well, why would you do it? Would you let your child watch porn for 8 hours every day? Let's just say that they're, old enough to watch porn. Your teenager or whatever, right? No. Well, then why would you do it? So I want you to start thinking about these things as they relate to you and as they relate to your twin, and don't look at the behavior as much as why they might be doing the behavior. Did they learn that behavior from somewhere? Is it a cultural thing? Is it a religious thing? Is it a mind programming thing? Society expects men to ... Society expects women to ... Okay? Sometimes the law expects something to dot, dot, dot. So there's a lot of duality going on within people's souls right now. You know, AKA my work expects me to go and get the you know what, but I don't want to, because my body is sovereign and it's my body, my choice. We could say, if someone asked you and told you, as an example, if you don't eat a certain food every day, I don't know, let's just say it's cashew nuts every day, then you'll lose your job, right? So any type of force that doesn't resonate with your soul means that you need to look deeper, you need to go further. And if you want to get the truth about certain topics, I would suggest you go on to DuckDuckGo as a search engine for your computer rather than Google. There's a lot of information on DuckDuckGo, the actual truth about many different topics, and you can type in many topics that you want answers to. So your soul is crying out to be a sovereign being. The same happens with your divine masculine, and I want you to do more research before you allow anybody, including yourself, to damage any part of your mind, your body, or your soul. I want you to be grateful that you are alive. We're at the dawning of the age of Aquarius, and although it looks really bad right now, we're going to get through this. And if you need me to help you in any way, please contact me. My details are in the description box below. But your divine masculine right now needs you to be strong. Your divine masculine right now needs you to be unconditionally loving. He's already got a whole heap of women in his life that are showing him the distorted feminine. Why didn't you do that? How come you got home so late? You're a man. You should be able to do this. Take gender how it resonates, right? So come into your sovereignty. Make sure you stay close to your creator. That's the only thing that can save you. And my counseling. Of course, right? But if you're having a hard time, you need to speak with your creator. Whoever that is for you, you need to connect in and find your heart space, find your soul, come out of the ego, and understand that the truth and what we truly need, what the world needs now, is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Okay? The world needs love. And there's a beautiful song by the Carpenters. I can't help but sing before I go. What was the song I was going to sing? Oh yeah. Love, look at the two of us, strangers in many ways. We've got a lifetime to say I knew you well, for only time will tell us so, and love may grow for all we know. You know, back in the olden days when I grew up, there was beautiful films. There was wonderful, amazing music that made you feel uplifted. You know, many of the older songs, especially in the 80s and the 90s even, can make you feel good, can make you feel satiated. Connecting with music and connecting with meditation is a really, really important part of the twin flame journey. Like, it can change your life because it has a frequency. But that's a whole nother video, and I've really gone on for way too long. But, come into that space of, listen to things that make you feel good. The twin flame journey is all about feeling. Let's take a lifetime to say I knew you well, for only time will tell us so, and love may grow for all we know. Okay, I don't sound like the Carpenters, but some of their music's fantastic. Just, the voice of Karen Carpenter, the holiness of her, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, I don't know, some of the men. Savage Garden's great to listen to if if you want to just feel into a loving space. Pick those kinds of artists that make you feel love. Because at the end of the day, you are a sovereign being. You are made up of love and light. And what's been portrayed to you in the world situation and what's going on in the world right now is the opposite of love. So you really can feel the duality. People are afraid to hold hands. People are afraid to touch one another. People are literally wearing masks when they go into the shopping center and into schools. We were never meant to be that way. We were never meant to be separated. Okay, we're meant to be together. Okay? So that's my take on the twin flame journey right now. I'm sending you all so much love, and I hope you have a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. And of course, if you want to connect with me, my details are down below. And I just want to quickly congratulate Jody because she won the 1-hour counseling session with me. And get in touch with me, Jody, because we need to do that sometime soon. Yeah. Because of time zones and things, we've got to work that out. But if you want to talk to me, I'd love to meet you. I'd love to help you with your twin flame journey. If you don't know if it's your twin flame or not, I can tell you just by looking at a picture of you and your twin. I can actually tell you whether or not it's your twin flame. I read energy. I can see whether it's a match or not, soul wise. And of course, if you've got a soulmate that you're interested in, because you've either left the twin flame journey or, whatever, then you can connect with me as well. Sending you a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. Stay in your joy. Don't forget to do that. Stay in your joy. Don't stalk anyone by that name because that would be cray-cray. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.